Good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining in. I haven't made a video I don't know, maybe a couple of weeks. I don't even know if it's been that long or not, but I just kind of I wanted to wait for the smoke to clear, and I knew free agency was coming up, and there'd be a lot to talk about with that, with the NFL, and I really don't like making videos just on rumors, just so I can get clicks and stuff like that. I'd rather kind of wait to see what happens, because to me, sometimes these rumors get spread, and I just can't stand that kind of crap anyway. So. I want to talk about some kind of big moves this year so far since free agency really just started like yesterday. So I want to go over a few things, and I want to talk about the what I think, my feelings are on the Jets making I guess their big splash, signing Justin Fields to a 2-year deal. But we'll talk about that afterwards. I'm going to go just talk about a couple of things first. I see I have the NFL.com up right now, and I just want to go over like these big signings. The Bills, obviously, everybody should know by now, they extended Josh Allen a $330 million deal, 6 years, $250 million guaranteed. That's ridiculous money, but in the market, the way sports is now, especially the NFL, I guess that's great for him. Maybe now they can get past the referees and all their siding with I don't want to get into that discussion anymore, but you know where I'm going with that. So hopefully this works out for them. I don't dislike the Bills or Josh Allen. I think they've gotten screwed a couple of times, but at least they cemented Allen, and he's going to be with the team. He's not going anywhere. So good for them, I guess. The Dolphins, to me, this is kind of funny. They haven't really done much yet since free agency just started. But they signed one of our old buddies, Zach Wilson, to a 1-year deal. He's going to be a Dolphin for a year. I think it was like a $6 million or something, which probably is league minimum nowadays. But I hope Zach turns out to be good. I always say that I was always a Zach fan. I wanted to see Zach do well. And I think that his failure with the Jets was kind of a combination of both teams. Both people. I think Zach came into the league with a little bit of arrogance. He thought he was, even at his draft, he goes, we're going to Super Bowl, if everybody remembers that. I don't know if he was just a little arrogant or just positive. I don't know what it was. And so I kind of blame him a lot. I think he thought college football, the NFL was going to be like college, and he found out quickly that it wasn't. So that's on him. But also the Jets, I think, probably deserve more credit for his failure than he does, because they really threw him to the wolves. No offensive line, no real wide receiver one. He just should have never been thrown out there to begin with. So the combination of both those things, I think, equaled failure with him. So I hope Zach gets his chance and does well, and wherever he may end up. I'm looking at the Patriots. They really haven't made any kind of big splashes yet. Quarterback Josh Dobbs agreed to a 2-year extension deal. I think maybe he was with them last year. I don't even know. No big deal there. I'm just going to go past the Jets right now because I don't want to talk about. Oh, I see the Bengals. They gave T. Higgins the non-exclusive franchise tag. I'm sure he's pissed off about that. He probably deserves more than that. I'm sure he was looking for a big contract, but he's not going to get it. At least not this year. Not right now. It looks like Kenny Pickett was traded to the Browns. He was traded from the Eagles. Myles Garrett signed a huge extension with Cleveland, so he's not going anywhere. I think it's one of the biggest defensive contracts in the whole league history, if not the biggest. Steelers got DK Metcalf on a trade from the Seahawks. I think that's a big deal. Metcalf is a great receiver. The guy's a beast. But it was time for him to move from Seattle as well. Let's go to the AFC South. We've got the Houston Texans. Don't really see too much going on here. A couple of guys traded and they've got, but nothing of real significance, I don't think. Colts, same thing. Nothing really big to mention there. The Jags, they signed Nick Mullins to a 2-year, $6.5 million deal, $3 million guaranteed. Oh, well, okay, good for them. Let's go to the Titans. They really haven't done anything at all yet. I don't know what their plan is, but they better have one, because that's a team that's really starting to flounder, if you want to put it that way. Let's go to the AFC West. The Broncos, Jarrett Stidham re-signed. Okay, so he was, I think, back up to Bo Nix. I think he's their backup QB. Now Zach is gone. He was only third string quarterback there anyway. So they got Stidham re-signed for a 2-year, $12 million deal. Kansas City Chiefs, they re-signed the referees for another 2-year deal. It looks like. So nothing else big there. Raiders. Oh yeah, Raiders signing Geno Smith, taking him away from Seattle. I'm not too sure how I feel about this, really. I'm not sure if Geno was just kind of overhyped in Seattle. He did perform very well the last couple of years, but there's a reason why they got rid of him. I don't know if maybe they just don't think he can get them over the top. I hope Geno does well. He's another ex-Jet quarterback, as we all know. Max Crosby signed a 3-year extension worth $106 million, $91 million guaranteed. So the Raiders are trying to make moves. And there's a lot of talk with the Raiders, too, about quarterback. I've heard a lot of rumors. Rodgers' name's been mentioned. I don't know if it is anymore. He's being mentioned with the Giants, and I've even heard his name mentioned on the Vikings. I mean, and kind of stuff like that. So who knows where this guy's going to end up? All I know is I'm glad he's out of New York. The Chargers have not really done anything. Khalil Mack, I guess, re-signed for a 1-year deal with him. He's kind of on the later edges of his career, I believe. The NFC East, Cowboys just are doing cowboy things. Not really anything of significance yet. Giants re-signed Tommy DeVito. He's a fan favorite. I don't know that he's going to be a starting quarterback there or not, but when he comes in, it's nothing but a good time anyway to see. By the way, like I mentioned, I've heard Rodgers' name circulated with the Giants. He won't even have to change his locker. He could just stay in the same stadium. He probably will enjoy that. He likes the New York market. I know he likes all that publicity and all that attention he gets. The Eagles so far have not really done anything. They signed Saquon Barkley to a 2-year extension worth $41.2 million. Smartest move I've seen yet. Barkley brought them guys there. He maybe wasn't significant in the Super Bowl, but he brought them there. So they don't want to let this guy go anyplace. Good idea to do that. The Washington Redskins, they signed Deebo Samuel. That's right, they did that early. They got him from a trade with the 49ers. I'm surprised the 49ers got rid of Deebo. I was very shocked about that. Zach Ertz re-signed. Laramie Tunsil, offensive tackle. He was acquired from the Texans. So the Redskins I'm calling them the Redskins. I know they're the Commanders, but I'm going to call them the Redskins anyways. And so they're making some moves. Now the Bears, on the other hand, are kind of remind me of the Jets. They really don't do much, and when they do shit, it never works anyway. They really haven't done anything yet. Joe Thuney acquired in trade with the Chiefs in exchange for a 2026 4th-round pick. All right, he's an offensive guard. Not really anything else. The Lions, they are really just a player or two away. They were just so decimated on defense this past season. That's what killed the Lions. Lions are not going to need too much. They just got to keep their guys healthy and get it. But other than that, I don't really see them doing any big splash. The Packers are kind of the same thing. They're 1 or 2 players away, I think, from really maybe even making it there, at least a championship game, if not a Super Bowl. But I think they got to. They just got to get they're a player or two away, maybe on offense, a couple defensive guys, maybe something like that. Vikings, Aaron Jones re-signed a 2-year deal, and pretty much Atlanta Falcons have really done nothing. Carolina Panthers, I'm surprised they're still even in Carolina without the team being sold to somebody else. Andy Dalton re-signed. He's been around a long time. I don't see them doing anything else really yet. And Tampa Bay, Chris Godwin returning a 3-year, $66 million deal, $44 million guaranteed. Great. They got to keep him there for sure. The Cardinals, not too much happening with them either. That not to mention Rams, Jimmy Garoppolo returning on a 1-year deal. Jimmy's still hanging around. Matt Stafford, another big deal here to me, where he agreed to a restructured contract that's going to extend him there, and he's not going anywhere there, because there's a lot of rumors earlier that Stafford was going to possibly be leaving the Rams, looking around. They're going to make sure he's not going anywhere. And also Devontae Adams just signed with them too. I forgot to mention that. I'm glad I saw it. I'm just glad Devontae. I hope he does well there. I hope Rodgers does well wherever he ends up. These guys just weren't working in New York. Blame it on who you want. It just wasn't working out. I'm glad he's gone. I'm glad he's got to deal with somebody else to pay him a 2-year deal worth $46 million. That's crazy money for a receiver, but he's still got a lot of tread left on the tires. So good for him. 49ers, really nothing. And one of our old buddies from the Jets again, Sam Darnold, signed with the Seattle Seahawks, a 3-year, $100 million deal with $55 million guaranteed. Good for Sam Darnold. He was another one. I always liked him when he came in. I think he was another one that was just thrown into the fire, which is what the Jets always do. And they ruin guys. And Sam Darnold, it's good to see Sam doing well, playing good football now. He's still a young guy, got a lot of time left in his career. And let's see what he can do with Seattle. You never know. You know, he had a great season with the Vikings. I know the playoff game, he looked like shit and all that, but it was his first time there. So maybe a little bit of experience is going to get him back on track with things. So good for Sam. I'm glad he got himself a nice contract and he's doing well. So let's just talk about the Jets getting Justin Fields. Now, I know there's a lot of Jet fans out there just waving their hands around, and it reminded me a little bit a couple of years ago when Aaron Rodgers announced on Pat McAfee, because you know he has to announce everything to the world what he's going to do, that he wants to play for the New York Jets. Everybody was jumping around, screaming, just throwing their hats in the air, and he didn't do jack shit on the Jets. So I saw those same people doing this same thing now with Justin Fields. And I got to be honest with you. I don't hate this move, but I don't understand it either. I could understand it if the contract was like cut in half, but to give this guy $20 million a year for a 2-year deal, I think it's just gross because, Justin Fields, as we all know, was really good. I don't want to say great, but he was really high tier level quarterback in college. But a lot of these college guys, it doesn't transpire to the NFL, and I haven't seen that yet with Justin Fields. He went to the Bears. It was just a disaster. Okay, but you could blame a lot of that on the Bears too, because I said earlier, Bears remind me of the Jets. They're the Jets of the NFC. Everything they do is a mess. They can't get anything right. Coaching, playing, anything. They can't get anything right. So he was thrown into a shitty environment there in Chicago. So maybe that's why he didn't succeed. Similar to me to Zach Wilson. He was thrown into the Jets in a shitty situation. He had no chance of succeeding. He just didn't. Same thing in Chicago with Justin Fields. But then he went to Pittsburgh and he started there. I think they were 4-2 last year, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below. But I think they were 4-2 when they replaced him with Russell Wilson. And I just got to think that maybe the coaching staff saw something in him that I don't think this kid has what it takes to get us over the top. Because if he did, they would have never sat him for Russell Wilson. I don't care what they're paying Wilson. They were winning. I think they were 4-2 when they replaced him, and he sat on the bench the rest of the year. He maybe got in there sporadically once in a while, but so I haven't seen anything from him to think he's going to come to the Jets and do something. Now, if this is some sort of let's see what we can do, maybe we'll draft a guy out of college, which, by the way, I'm going to say it again. I've said it 100 times. I hope they draft Jackson Dart out of Ole Miss. I just think that kid has NFL potential. I've been watching him for years in college. That's who I hope they draft, but knowing the Jets, they won't. They're smarter than I am, obviously, because they've been so successful with quarterbacks in the past. But that's who I'm hoping that they draft is Jackson Dart. I'm going to say it again. That's what I'm hoping for, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, back to Justin Fields. I just haven't seen anything to want. I would have said in the current market, the way it is now, these guys are grossly overpaid to throw a ball anyway or catch a ball. But I could have said maybe $10 million a year, $8 million a year for 2 years. Let's see how you do. He's still a young guy. He's only 25 or 26 years old, and he does have some talent. I just don't know if that talent is good in the NFL as opposed to college. So I want to say, I don't want to say nothing negative about it like that, but I'm not as excited as some people I see dancing around the internet with, we got Justin Fields, big deal. He hasn't done jack shit in the NFL, but get benched. So let's hope it works out. Aaron Glenn, I like Aaron Glenn. I didn't at first, but I like the way he's talking. I like the enthusiasm he brings. I really do like that. I just don't. I just hope he doesn't end up another rah rah guy who shits the bed. And I just hope that doesn't happen. But as far as Justin Fields goes, I just think this is probably going to end up being another mistake. Unless he proves me wrong. I hope he does, because obviously I want to see the Jets win. I just don't know if he's going to be that guy. He hasn't been that guy yet anywhere. He seems a little frail to me. He does have running potential. Maybe they can get the offense going around that. Jets should have a good running game with Braylon Allen, and our running game should be really good this year. So, and oh yeah, by the way, he's going to be put to back with his buddy Garrett Wilson. I think Jeremy Rucker played in college with them together, so they know each other. So maybe this will get Garrett more in tune with the team again, because he seemed like he was getting sick of it, sick of the losing, and sick of all the. Rodgers was really focusing on Davante Adams the whole season once he came here, so he was very frustrated. So I think it's going to be good for that. But whether he's going to pan out for the team, I just think they kind of overpaid him a little bit. Maybe they're just going by the market, but I don't know. I just hope it works out, as I always do with the Jets. But it seems like you just hope, and then after about 4 or 5 games in the season, you realize it's not going to work out again. Let's hope the Jets do something with him. They have a game plan around his skill set, and maybe he can prosper with the Jets, because there have been quarterbacks that have been. Look at what happened with Geno Smith, Sam Darnold. I mean, there's quarterback after quarterback that have been on teams, not just the Jets, other teams, and they've succeeded in a different, on a different team with a different offensive scheme. So maybe it'll work with him. I hope it does. I'm not as excited as everybody else is about it, but I guess that we'll just have to wait and see what happens with that. But anyway, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. And leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think about anything I mentioned, anything I said. And I'll be making some more videos here because free agency is going to be kicking in, and we'll see what the Jets and other teams as well do. We'll see where Aaron Rodgers ends up when he's ready to announce to the world what his plans are, because, we're all sitting on our hands waiting. But anyway, there'll be a lot to talk about here coming up soon. So I appreciate you guys watching. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. It helps me out a lot. I really do appreciate it. Thanks for all the comments I've been getting. And I'll talk to you guys very soon. Have a good day now. Bye.